But first, here's my take. The Trump administration's announcement last week about the new rules for H-1B visas, including that most would now require a $100,000 fee, made headlines. But few pointed out that, as usual, it played fast and loose with the rules that govern the process, which require a prior period of public notice and comment, invoking national security to levy the fee. The Trump administration has been following this pattern from the start. One of its early actions was to fire more than a dozen inspectors general, disregarding the law that required specific reasons for each one's firing and public notice. The administration seems to be ignoring and flouting laws and rules purposefully so as to erode the checks on its authority. It could have pushed Congress to pass legislation raising tariffs to whatever level Trump wanted. The Republican majorities there have denied him practically nothing. Similarly, it could have asked Congress to shut down USAID, since foreign aid has rarely been very popular. Instead, President Trump took unilateral executive action. The administration is deliberately refusing to play by the rules in ways that look to most observers like usurpations of authority and accumulation of power. Some are deeply troubled by this, others brush it off, but the question I want to ask is why? Why has America's vaunted system of checks and balances proved so weak? Among the Western democracies, America today stands out. Amid the widespread rise of populism, discontent with various establishments, and angry political rhetoric, the U.S. appears to have moved further than any other down the path of illiberal democracy, where constitutionalism and the rule of law are being steadily undermined. Hungary is the obvious other example, but Hungary is a very young and fragile democracy, scarred by decades of communism. The United States is the oldest constitutional republic in the world. And yet, Sweden's V-Dem Institute has described the erosion of American democracy as unprecedented in scale. Any one of the administration's actions might have in a previous era provoked public outcry. But today, we routinely see regulatory threats and lawsuits against media companies, threats to deny law firms government business or access to federal buildings, the use of the Justice Department to target political opponents, and the use of military forces within the United States. Some laud these moves as necessary acts of executive authority, but almost no one would disagree that the breadth and number of these actions are unprecedented, certainly in the half-century since Watergate. Ironically, part of the problem stems from the age of the Constitution, which in many ways is an enduring success. America's political framework actually dates back not even to 1776 or 1789, but further to the structures of government put in place by early English colonial settlers. This system was modern for its age, but that was 300 years ago. Today, to give one critical example, many Western democracies have departments of justice and electoral commissions that are independent of the elected government. In America, neither prosecutors nor elections are really insulated from politics or elected politicians. Since Watergate, certain norms have developed around the executive not interfering, but they are just norms, as the Trump administration has shown by breaking them without consequence. Similarly, other democracies have more nonpartisan ways to pick judges and fixed terms for them, unlike America's partisan mechanisms to appoint judges who then sit for life. Ironically, the world learned many of these checks and balances, such as the Supreme Court that has the ultimate power of review over laws, from America. But then they fine-tuned them as they were enacted. Stephen Levitsky, one of the foremost scholars of democratic collapse, the co-author of How Democracies Die, says that perhaps the most important reason for the institutional decay is that America has been so successful over the years that it has never seen the need to change. It's a truism in business and life that one rarely learns from success, only from failure. And America has won the Cold War, pioneered the information revolution, and continues to stand atop the world by many material measures. so we don't see the need to examine our own system, consider its flaws, and improve it. American exceptionalism has blinded us to weaknesses in our constitutional and political system, Levitsky says. Alongside this lack of introspection, Levitsky describes as crucial the failure of leadership. We have no memory of democratic collapse or authoritarian rule, he notes. In places like Poland and Brazil, generations know what it is like to have lost the rule of law and constitutional safeguards. But Republican leaders, business leaders, Supreme Court justices don't seem to think we could actually watch democracy decay and even die. This is America, they seem to think. We're different. That failure of imagination is creating a complacency that might prove deadly. Go to cnn.com/Fareed for a link to my Washington Post column this week.
Fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.